Oh, look, another wheel. Wow, I got wheels coming out of the wazoo. Hey, welcome back everybody to Epic Cars. Thanks for tuning in. Really, this week is about kind of doing my own intervention. There is definitely an issue with kind of car hoarding and project hoarding and things like that. So I have broken out the red chair of truth and intervention and going to stage my own intervention. So for anybody out there that's been in kind of the car hobby or just really any hobby for that matter, I guess you could kind of go across the board, but especially in the car hobby, there are kind of what I consider two different kinds of people. There are the staunch, brand hobbyists that go out and buy the best of that particular brand that they're interested in. And I say brand, maybe it's type of vehicle. So if you're into 32, Fords, you go out and get the best of that 32 Ford out there, and it's your baby. You have a garage that's immaculate, and you put your 32 Ford in it, and that is your baby from that point forward or for a certain amount of time. And again, whether that be a Porsche fanatic, BMW, Chevy, maybe you're a 69 Camaro fan, hot rod, GTO, maybe it's trucks, maybe it's Jeeps, maybe you're into diesels, things like that. They go out and buy one, maybe two of those kind of types of vehicles, and then they stick with that. Then there's kind of the other side of the extreme, which I definitely fit into, which is I go out and I'm interested in I'm interested in anything. Anything automotive related, I'm interested in. So that's where the intervention's coming in. As time goes on, as I get older, I find myself, being more well versed in fixing things, and so I'm like, oh yeah, I can buy that and I can fix that. Case in point, I've got the Hummer right over here that I bought for my daughter. We're going to be starting that project. It's a Copart project, but engine out replacement, no big deal. Eric, have you ever done an engine out replacement? Well, no. So what makes you think you can do it now? Well, I don't know. Maybe call me a cup half full type of personality, but I'm going to try it and I'm going to get into it, and we're going to make that one work. But some of these other projects I've got to get rid of them, guys. They build up space requirements, first of all, then money requirements of carrying costs, insurance and tags and parts, and not to mention just storage and that kind of stuff just eats at you from a money standpoint. And then more importantly, on the time standpoint, you come out and you try to work on a project, and it's just, where do you start? You've got 2-3 hours on a weekend, maybe you've got a Sunday afternoon, which today's Sunday afternoon, to come out and kind of work in the shop, that you don't have other chores going on, and where do you start? And so this red chair of truth is making me speak some truth to myself, and the fact that it's time to cut it loose. It's time to start moving on. Projects that you're not going to get to, or that I'm not going to get to, I'm selling. I'm getting rid of them. I've got to make some space, and it's going to hurt me. I mean, that's the problem that I have with my hoarding, is even though I maybe haven't touched that project in 6 months, when I sell it, there's a little bit of pain that happens in my heart, and it's an emotional response that I have to my babies. They're tough to get rid of. Even no matter how ugly they are, I love them to death, and getting rid of them is going to be hard. So that's what today's episode's about, is going through the plan of action. I'm going to give you a walk around the shop here in a second. You're going to have a pretty good idea of why I'm getting to this point in time. Okay, so there is the red chair of truth that I just had my intervention on, and there is an oil stain from a BMW that was sitting there. Pretty much my life. So as you look around the shop here, it is a mess. Not only do I have a car hoarding, or I should say project hoarding issue, I have a cleanliness issue, and let's just admit it. I'm a slob. My shop is a mess. I try to organize it. I take a full day, sometimes even a full weekend, and just work on organizing things. But guys, this is literally embarrassing. That's from Project Old Bones when I was doing the brake job. Didn't even clean it up. There's some extra parts for Old Bones sitting over there. I got things sitting on that table for Old Bones. I got my detailing cart over there, car wash detailing cart. And then I've just got stuff. Here's the Raptor wheels from when I changed out my wheels. Never done anything with that. Then I come over here to my workbench, and it's just, it's embarrassing. Look at this. I've got just stuff piled on top of stuff. I've got tools sitting out that need to be put back and cleaned. I got trash on the floor. And so here's a shot of the shop going back. It's just one of those things, guys, that I have to finally come to grips with the fact that I am not only a slob and a hoarder, but it's the fact that when I come out to my shops, there's just so much to do that you rush through jobs and you just, you're fighting a deadline of you've got 2 hours to get X done. 2 hours and 15 minutes, you're past it, and your wife's calling and saying, hey, we gotta go. And so you literally just throw your tools down and say, okay, I'll come back to that. Well, guess what? Then other projects come up, and so you just don't ever get anything done, and it's annoying. One of the things that I have experienced and I have definitely seen happen, especially with my kind of personality, is it's almost like a pack rat. The bigger space you have, the more crap you put in it. And I don't throw away anything, and that's such an annoying thing, because it hurts me to throw things away. Like there's an air cleaner off of probably a Blazer, or maybe it's a C10 or something like that. And then here's a little down pipe that goes onto the exhaust. That actually heats up the air coming off of the exhaust manifold into a factory air cleaner. And then I've got a broken fuel pump over here, and I've just got old bicycle parts up here. Just stuff I've been holding on to that I don't know why I'm holding on to it, but it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to use that someday. And guys, there's no question. There's been times over my my hobby career here that I've definitely found things in the shop that, oh, I'm glad I held on to that, or I'm glad I saved that, or I could adapt that to another thing to make another piece of equipment or something like that. But I have no idea. I've just got stuff everywhere, and it is annoying. It's not organized, and at the same point in time, it just makes my life even further disorganized. Here is my promise, not only to my YouTube audience, but also to myself, to my future self. I have got to start letting things go and stop having such an emotional attachment to things. I've got a bunch of wheels and tires back here, and guys, this is nothing. You should see over in kind of my lean-to behind that wall. I've got probably 30 sets of wheels and tires over there. And then I've got these. I don't even know what these came off of. I know those came off of my BMW. I think that came off of a Mercedes. I've just got stuff everywhere that I'm never going to use. Why not turn it into cash, get it out of your shop, and move on down the road, even if you don't sell it for what you think it's worth. I got more wheels and tires. I got some BMW wheels and tires right there. What am I going to do with those? I have one BMW that it fits, and I kind of like those wheels. So they're just sitting there. Then I got these Raptor wheels. Well, guess what? I've got more wheels over here. I got BMW Style 5s right there. That is my goal in this video, is just to talk about the fact that I am changing my ways. And part of that is big projects go first. And there you go. You're looking at two of them. That Jeep is gone. Then I've got Model T sitting back there. Part of the issue with the Model T, there's another issue about having a shop like this that's full of junk. I can't even hardly walk around this place. I've got Model T back here. Great project. I've had it for like 3 or 4 years now. My father-in-law found it for me. It was fun because this has been a learning experience for me. I've never worked on anything this old. This is a 1925 Roadster, and so I was going to kind of turn it into that error correct speedster. Part of the issue that's been fun on this is figuring out the coil system that's down there, and you can go back and look at this previous video that I did on this. Guys, I can't even fit in this thing. Seriously, I'm not exaggerating. I cannot even sit in this car. My head sits up over the windshield by about 4 inches. My legs don't fit down there. I can't even hardly get my legs underneath the steering wheel. You know, there's no chance this is going to be a driver for me or anything that I can even have fun with. You know, it doesn't have seat belts, and you know, the brakes are terrible, and you know, I could maybe do it in parades and things like that, but I really couldn't have fun with my family. And so guys, you got to just call it as it is and say this needs to go on to somebody else. So if you're looking for a really solid Model T, all the body work's already been done, wheels are good, all the undercarriage has been completely rebuilt, the engine's been rebuilt, it's bored 30 over, it's got all these cool little parts on it now, I'm going to be selling this thing. Oh, look, another wheel. Wow, I got wheels coming out of the wazoo. Look at this. I mean, what in the world is going on over here? This is shameful. I can't believe I've let myself get to this point in time. I mean, it's crazy. There's the top, by the way, for that Model T. Man, this is, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to actually publish this because this makes me look really bad. There's all my wheels and tires I was telling you about. Look at all those. It's crazy. I got wheels and tires and you name it. I've got all kinds of stuff. Extra bumpers for a Jeep. Guys, what am I doing with all this stuff? It's time to let it go. So how am I going to go about doing all this? I am going to be having a garage sale in the next couple of weeks. Facebook Marketplace is going to be my best friend. I'm going to get my wife to chip in and list stuff for me. But I want people to think that I've gone completely crazy. That's my goal. Being able to create more space and more organization in my shop, I think is going to make me a more productive, not only hobbyist, but YouTuber for you guys. In the near future, I've got a pretty dramatic change to my career coming up. And so I'm going to have a lot more time to do things like YouTube videos and do things like projects that I'm going to be working on. And so I'm almost getting ready for that. I'm trying to set myself up to where when I come out to my shop, I don't have to move 50 things to be able to get to that project to be able to work on that. Sell it all. Just sell everything and then start from scratch. Obviously not everything, because I can't do that. I have emotional connections. I've got to break that bond. There's an emotional attachment to these things, and they're just things, guys. It's starting to kind of take over my life. So stay tuned. I know this is more of kind of like a car channel, but when you're into cars, these are the side effects that come along with it, is you've got a lot of time, effort, and money tied up into stuff, tied into your hobby. One of the things I wanted to point out to you guys, and we'll walk over here and look at it, is I have a tool drawer. This is how I do my tools. Oh no, this is really embarrassing. I'm letting you guys into my life. Look at that. There's my wrench drawer. There's my plier drawer. There's my screwdriver drawer. I've got probably 2 of everything. I've probably got 5 of everything. I mean, it's ridiculous. And what better way to stay organized and get a project done efficiently than get some of this stuff organized. Now, that all being said, there's that kind of that primal fear that I have that, I'm going to use this thing, a shear, at some point in my life. And so I went out and bought this shear because I was messing with sheet metal or something like that over here. And why I'm not going to just throw this away, man. That's a cool shear. Well, of course, but I have not touched that shear in probably 3 years. But is it worth throwing away? No. Is it worth getting rid of? Probably not. But I do need to become a little bit more organized in the way I store things, because half the time I'm in here looking for something, I've got to dig through all this stuff to find the one that I've got. Now, I am kind of proud of myself that I've got a screwdriver drawer, a plier drawer, then I've got my wrenches, and I've got my sockets and stuff like that. I mean, halfway organized. And guys, I did go out to Harbor Freight. Look at this. I'm really proud of this. I went out to Harbor Freight and got these cool organizer things, and man, I was really feeling good about myself that day. You'll notice that I've got a lot of things on wheels, and again, that's the side effect of having a hoarder mentality, is I can move things around. Things get so jammed into this shop that the only hope I have of ever getting anything done is it's on wheels. And so I'm really into things with wheels on it. obviously. There's another one over there. So that's the plan. Thanks for sticking with me. I know that was a little bit of a manic download of just information, but that's what's going to be going on in Epic Cars. I'm not going to obviously take you through the mind-numbing process of selling all this stuff, but I'll be keeping you up to speed over the summer on the results. Say a little prayer for me and hope this thing works. It's going to be painful. I'm not going to enjoy it. But at the same point in time, it's got to be done. I couldn't think of a better way to honor the men and women of our armed forces that are out there fighting every single day to allow us to have these freedoms to do hobbies and to have a safe and secure home and raise our children in a free country. And so I had this flag out or in the shop, and so I went ahead and mounted it on the back of the Willys here, and I'll be going to a Memorial Day cookout this afternoon, and thought what a better way to honor them. I mean, there's obviously a lot better ways, but this is my way, and thank you guys for your service. Thank you for everything you do for us, and God bless you.